I'm going to talk about the people who struggle with their vision, struggle with attaining financial goals, struggle in planning and executing the things going forward. 5 years ago, you thought of being this or doing this, but you're still stuck in the same place. And today we're going to talk about how to formulate a financial vision for you and your family, how to execute it, and how to become the most important person that you desire to be. Where do you want to be financially? That is the first question that you'll be asking. Where do I want to be? I usually say that you should have a timeline. Decide exactly where you want to be and determine where exactly do you want to be. Do you want to be able to live in your own home? Do you want to be able to have some passing income being generated? Do you want to have a 6-figure salary? What do you want to be as you? Do you want to be financially stable? Do you want to have financial security? What is it that you want to be? So that is the first thing that you determine. Where do you want to be? Where do you want to be? The time that you desire. I usually advise that you have a period between 5 to 10 years because it is long enough to be able to keep you sustained and excited about the idea, and it is not too far off for you to think that it is too far in the future, because years go very fast. So it can be 1 year, it can be 2 years, it can be 3 years, and it can be beyond 10 years. So it is 5 to 6 years. For me, 5 to 10 years. For me, I always pick 7 years as a year that I said I want to be this in the next 7 years. So you pick a year between 5 and 10 and what you really want to be. Where do you want to be? Who do you want to become? Determine from the time now and to the future what you want to become, and be very specific. Write it down on paper. Where you want to be. If it is wealth, how much wealth? If it is income, how much income? If it is financial stability, how much in terms of financial stability? If it is home ownership, where? How much? How big? Be very specific where you want to be. Then once you have written down that plan, put it down on paper. Stick it on your bedroom, somewhere that you're able to see ever so often. Why in your bedroom? So that when you wake up, you see it. So that when you sleep, you see it. So when you are discouraged in the morning, you see it. When you are feeling tired, you see it. You constantly surround yourself with your vision. A lot of people write visions, put them in a phone, put them somewhere, and forget about them. Write it, be very specific, and put it down on paper. Because when you do that, it becomes alive to you every day that you look at it and interact with it. Then the other thing is, you should need to determine, how do I get there? What do I need to do to be able to get there? If it is financial wealth, what do I need to do? Do I need to save, invest, and grow in my finances? Do I need to change jobs? Do I need to improve in my career? Do I need to get a promotion? Do I need to start a business? Do I need to scale my business? Do I need to reinvest in my business? What do I need to do to be able to get to that financial vision and financial goals that I have set? How do I get there? Determine how you get there. Determine what are the threats to you getting there. Is it your own personality that you are spending carelessly? Is it that you are lazy? Is it that you procrastinate daily, every day? Is it that your work does not allow you to earn a lot of income? So what are the risks to you achieving that goal? If it is something that you can change, then you go to the next step. But before you do that, determine what are your threats. What are your opportunities? You have unique opportunities that you can be able to master to be able to get to your goal faster. There are certain skills you can be able to grow in. There's so much information you can be able to gather. New courses that you can be able to pursue. A master's degree, this and that. Mentorship from people who can be able to help you in your journey of growth. What are the opportunities that you have? Because it is not always about risks. There are always opportunities and things that you can be able to leverage to grow in the plan and the vision that you have. Then the other thing now is the what. So you've determined where you want to go, you determine how you want to go and what the things that you need to do. Now you need to do what. What are you supposed to do now? Write down a plan and the amount of time, amount of resources that it is required to allow you to be able to be in the best place to get where you want to be. Just like somebody who is going to a place, you have to go to the bus stop, wait for the bus, enter the bus, you have to have fare, you have to be able to be dressed up, able to get where you want to go. So you cannot be able to do all these things if you do not have the what. What do I need? Then determine how much do I need. So for example, if you need to improve in your career to earn a lot of money so that you can be financially stable, then you need to, for example, learn a new course, a new degree, or do a master's program, or learn a certain skill, or improve a certain skill that you already have. So what is it that you're going to do? How much is it going to cost? How long is it going to take for you to do this thing? The what? Be very specific. What you need to do. What skills threaten your ability to move to the goal that you have already set? Then what skills can you acquire? What money do you need to be able to do? If it is your own poor behaviors, if your own personal attributes that are failing you to achieve the goals that you have, think about changing them. How do you change yourself? The habits that you have that do not allow you to be able to achieve your financial goals. There is a time you do something and do something for 21 days straight, becomes a habit. So it is something that you constantly do. When you do the habit for 7 months, for 8 months, it becomes your character. So your character becomes harder to change, unlike your habit, unlike your behavior. But when you start changing your behavior, do it consistently for 21 days, you can be able to have a habit. If this habit is sustained for 7 months, it becomes a character. So for you to become financially prudent, if you're the kind of person who spends money aimlessly, you need to do it for 21 days. Then for 21 days becomes a habit. Then you cultivate that habit and prevent anything that is going to keep you from falling into that habit. It becomes harder. But once you have reached the 7th mark, you are a lot better. It is the same thing for people who go to the gym. If you go to the gym and you exercise, it becomes very hard to be able to overcome a character of not wanting to exercise and do all these things. But when you do it consistently for 21 days, then it becomes a habit. You start feeling unease if you don't do it. But it can easily slip into not doing it because it is no longer a character. But when you do it for 7 months, 8 months, you find yourself needing to do it where you are. However, you even on a flight, you find yourself exercising because it has become part of your character. So if it is something that you need to work on, you determine what you do it consistently, you turn the behavior into a habit and the habit into a character, and you're able to work on yourself. Do you need people to talk to? Is it some trauma that you need to work on? Do you buy things aimlessly to fill a void that is there in your personal life that is a result of some emotional trauma that you already have experienced? Are you tackling some trauma that is causing you to have financial chaos in your life? Work on it. Find a therapist. Talk about it. Deal with it. Because a lot of people, let me tell you, a lot of people do not meet their financial goals, not because they don't make enough money, not because they don't invest like other people, not because they do not have all these things that everyone has, but because their characters are flawed and are causing the to behave in a certain way because of a character that has been formed over a period of time. And the biggest problem is they do not know that they have a bad character that is causing them to spend aimlessly, not have a vision, not have a plan, and not execute the things that will allow them to grow financially. So if you are able to work on yourself, you're able to determine what you need to do in regards to learning, in regards to saving, investing, in regards to doing all these things, then you are able to remove all the barriers that we talk about in the second point of how you're able to remove the barriers that cause you from moving from the point now to the 7 years or 10 years that we are talking about, and you're able to meet your goals a lot easier. The problem with most people is not that they do not set goals. The problem with most people is they do not determine how. They do not determine their threats, and they do not actively work on their weaknesses, on the problematic areas, to allow them to be able to move forward in many aspects of your life, of their lives. If it's in your career, determine where you want to go. If you determine there are some things that are beyond your means or beyond your capacity, seek external help. If there are things that you cannot be able to change, for example, if you cannot be able to be promoted because the person who is promoted in that business where you work in must be a family member, then maybe that is not the place you need to go if you want to grow to that level that is possessed by a son of the business owner. Maybe you need to move other places, but you need to determine beforehand what are the ceilings, the glass ceilings that have been placed over my career, over my finances, over all these things, and find a way of breaking through all these ceilings. Because remember, if you cannot grow beyond a certain point in a certain place, maybe you need to change scenery, maybe you need to change jobs, maybe you need to change locations, maybe you need to change the friends that you are hanging out with, because a lot of people are struggling financially because they want to impress so many people in their lives and forget to be able to take care of their own financial affairs and take care of the financial needs of their own families. So determine the threats, determine the opportunities, take advantage of the opportunities, eliminate the threats, have a consistent habit of doing the same things that develop into a character that allows you to be able to move from one point to the other. The other thing that you need to do is determine, am I moving in the way that I need to be? Evaluate yourself. Evaluate whether the goals are relevant, because sometimes goals change. What if you plan to achieve something in 7 years and you achieve it in 2 years? Does it mean the next 5 years you now rest? No, it means that you change your goals, reevaluate, and have bigger goalposts, or move and say that I will have 1 year of rest, then I can be able to do something else. But always have a plan and a vision moving, especially when you move and are able to change something fast. The most important thing that I always say, if you are a lazy person, then have many goals, some that are simple, some that are hard. Start with the simple ones, achieve them, and the excitement of achieving them will give you more strength and more fuel to achieve the bigger goals. If you are highly a charged person who likes doing things, is so hardworking, puts a lot of effort, have hard goals so that you can always be constantly motivated to achieve them and work hard towards them. But always have a goal that is challenging enough, have a goal that has a timeline, has a goal that spells out your weaknesses, your threats, your opportunities, and have a goal that will always motivate you all the time. Hope you're learning, you're growing, and becoming better in your financial affairs. My name is George Kingori, your online finance guy who helps talk and demystify this thing about finances.